name is Nadine Kaskas, and I'm a board-certified dermatologist.
Hi, my name is Ravin Patel. I'm a family medicine resident.
Hi, this is Dr. Mona Amin, pediatrician.
Hi there, this is Dr. Dylan Greeny.
Hi, this is Kathleen Wang.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Darshan Shah.
Hi, my name is Leela Adelaide.
And I'm going to be talking about what a misconception about the journey to medicine that was unveiled to you after you became a physician.
Today, I would like to share a study strategy.
Question was, what advice would I give to driven pre-med students to enter the world of medicine?
And I think this is a great question.
I think the biggest misconception is...
Good morning, travelers, pre-med students, and undergraduates. Welcome to Doctors In. This is where medical experiences are shared, study strategies are examined, and life lessons with a sprinkle of advice and habits are served. As an introduction to the podcast, we want to feature 10 doctors who are either in residency or recently finished residency to share their medical experiences by answering the 3 questions we asked them. The first question was, what is a misconception about the journey to medicine that was unveiled to you after you became a physician? The second question was, what is one efficient study strategy that helps you to be successful academically? The third question was, what advice would you give to a driven pre-med student about to enter the world of medicine? These physicians come from diverse fields in medicine such as dermatology, allergy, immunology, pediatrics, internal medicine, cardiology, and plastic surgery. We categorize their responses with themes that will be displayed throughout this video. The full episode will be published this Monday on August 3rd, 2020, where you can hear the stories of these physicians and the valuable advice they provide. We really hope you enjoy this introductory video to the Doctors In podcast. To start things off, let's begin with the major advice given by all 10 physicians. It is to really make sure medicine is the right path for you. Dr. Wang termed this beautifully with the Japanese word
called ikigai, and it really is talking about your reason for being. So it's the intersection of what you love to do with what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. And for me, my ikigai is really medicine and what I'm currently doing. And I just challenge you to really think about that term and think about whether medicine is your ikigai.
Dr. Amin stressed this as well.
I think the most important thing to remember is that, like I said earlier, you have to want to do this. This has to be your calling. This has to be something that you would potentially want to do for 20 to 30 years.
We all know the path of medicine is long and difficult. As a result, stress and anxiety builds up to a phenomenon called burnout. In support of this, Dr. Kaskas introduced a research study.
A national survey of over 15,000 physicians in the U.S. in January of 2020 found 42% of doctors overall were affected with burnout. Women were affected more than men.
However, we often believe that we have to put our life on hold if we want to pursue medicine. Many physicians spoke up about this misconception. For instance, Dr. Adelaide pointed out that instead, medicine is a path with security measures.
Well, when you first hear that it's going to be 12 years, 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school, and 4 years of residency minimum, you feel like that's so daunting and that's going to just take away your whole life and, you know, all your friends will be having a great time with their lives and you're just going to be suffering. Some ways that's true, but I think the biggest misconception is that, you know, that you've lost all this time doing that. But to be honest, when I graduated, I found a lot of people who didn't go to medical school were still struggling to figure out their way. Whereas although we had 12 years, we had the certainty of understanding that we got where we wanted to be.
Even if you may feel like your life is on hold, there are ways to manage this FOMO, fear of missing out. Other physicians suggested to us to engage in healthy habits and self-care routines to combat FOMO and burnout.
Every single day, make time for yourself to move, to exercise, to eat healthy. People can really feel like they're putting their life on hold.
Try to find those times in your day where you can have self-care, whether it's exercising. Do not start drinking. Do not start doing drugs. This is not the time to go to that as a coping mechanism. I have seen it happen. You want to find good coping skills to get you through those hard days. Surround yourself with friends that are uplifting. Don't surround yourself with people who are ultra competitive to a point where it makes you feel bad about yourself.
Strive to become 1% better better each and every day. I think in the world of medicine where the learning curve is so steep and we start almost at ground zero and we try to elevate ourselves and try to reach the top of the mountain with all the immense knowledge there is to learn, we have to go slowly. And the best way to do that and the best way to feel like you're not getting burnt out is by just trying to improve by 1% every day. And 1% is not a whole lot, but when you compound that over a full year for 365 days, if you become 1% better each and every day, you become 37 times better in 1 year.
Prioritize sleeping, proper nutrition, exercise, staying connected with and involved with family and friends, and try to cultivate hobbies outside of medicine.
That's a huge misconception that you have to lose your identity to medicine. And I feel like a lot of people fall into that trap because they think that they have to, or you become this person who's just focused on diagnosing and treating. But I think that's far from the truth. Don't forget the things that you really enjoy. Focus on making yourself well-rounded. Don't be the person you think medical schools want, because there's enough people that have 4.0s with a 520 on their MCAT who did cancer research at Harvard. They have enough of those people. They really are looking for people who are unique.
Nonetheless, we should still be aware of the time and financial commitment of becoming a doctor. Dr. Mohammed, who is now a cardiologist, gave her personal anecdote on this very subject to show us that the path to medicine may not be as smooth sailing as it may seem.
It was a particularly difficult journey. This is starting all the way in undergrad. I didn't do well on my MCATs. I ended up going to a Caribbean medical school. I didn't know anybody, and then having to then do rotations in the United States at multiple different hospital sites all across the nation, and then not matching into the residency program of my choice, having to transfer to a different residency program. And then when I applied for fellowship, I wasn't able to match into fellowship the first time. So then I had to apply again, and I ended up matching into my top choice of fellowship. Although I don't regret it, because I'm really happy I had to go through what I went through, because I wouldn't be where I am today.
Dr. Tina Ho also gave a unique perspective on the commitments of a female surgeon.
Time, commitment, sacrifice involved, especially for myself as a female physician, female surgeon, certain considerations that I didn't realize until now in reality, certain gender gaps, challenges that I face as a female, work-life balance, family considerations. We all need to take it into perspective and appreciate that it's still going to be worth it in the long run.
Another very important viewpoint that was shared amongst the interviewed physicians was that you won't know all the information. Just be humble and curious so you can ask questions.
It's okay to be humble and say, I don't know, but I will look it up. Even as a doctor practicing for 5 years, I don't know everything. And even as a doctor who practices 20 years, I'm not going to know everything.
I didn't think I was the smartest in every room, but I surrounded myself with those people that were. And so if I had any questions, I never hesitated to call them. Then I also never hesitated to ask professors for, help getting tutoring. I had no ego in terms of saying, I don't understand. I always kind of came from a really humble place, and I think that really did help me.
You have to be a skeptic. You have to question certain things. You have to do your own investigation.
The physicians in Doctors In suggested many different study methods that can be used as guidelines, and we would like to showcase some of them right now. The most important aspect of studying is to work within a schedule, as emphasized by all physicians.
Because what inevitably happens if you don't have a study schedule is that there's lots of distractions, and social media being one of them. It's really, really easy to get lost in social media.
One common technique that can be utilized is spaced repetition.
The repetition. So there's a lot of new apps and things like that allow you to have spaced repetition in your studying.
As Dr. Greene mentioned, we are now in the golden age of apps, and the renowned spaced repetition app is called Anki. There's also another technique mentioned by Dr. Wang.
It's essentially a timer that times how long you should be studying or focusing for, and then also times your breaks. So my Pomodoro app has me focusing for 25 minutes with a 5-minute break, and that repeats 4 times times. And after about 2 hours, you get a 25-minute break.
These are only two of the many study strategies suggested by the physicians at Dr. Zinn. Episode 0 will be dropping on August 3rd that will feature more advice and study strategies. A major thank you to all the physicians who made this possible. The physicians were incredibly generous to provide their socials, so you can reach out to them with any questions. For more information and show notes, please visit our website at www.drzenpodcast.com and follow our socials at Dr. Zen Podcast. Thank you, everybody. Bye.